One of the most rewarding things in all of life is being a girl dad. And if you're a girl dad, you know that the most important things you can give your daughter are your time, your attention, and all of your focus. Now, when she's younger, it's a little easier to do that because it's a little easier to keep her attention. And I got some great ideas on how you can do that coming up in just a couple of minutes. But as she gets older, it gets a little more difficult. She starts to get interested in other things and have different relationships with her friends, and her relationship with her parents starts to change a little bit as well. But you, as her father and as a girl dad, don't have to let that happen. One of the things that my daughter has always loved since she was a little girl is a little show called The Gilmore Girls. Now, if you're not familiar with The Gilmore Girls, the show basically is about a single mom raising a young daughter, all the way from a little girl through college and then beyond. If you're a guy and you haven't really heard of this show, don't feel bad. I didn't hear about it either until my daughter made me sit down and watch all 8 seasons and the reboot and every interview and documentary about the show as well. So I thought I'd come on here and give you a pretty cool idea of how to spend some time with your daughter when she gets older. I don't know if this is going to work for you, but maybe you can apply the concept of it to something that interests your daughter. The show is supposed to take place in a fictional town called Stars Hollow in Connecticut. It's actually, though, shot on the back lot at the Warner Brothers studio in Hollywood. And one of the cool things that Warner Brothers does every single Christmas time is open that back lot so that you can tour Stars Hollow. If you're familiar with the show, you're going to recognize this footage, and I think you'll like it. Now, here we are walking on to the back lot here at Stars Hollow. You might recognize some of it. Now, Gilmore Girls isn't just a TV show. It's a story about a mother and daughter who aren't just family, but they're like best friends. It's about inside jokes, late night conversations, and coffee as a love language, and finding home in another person. And yeah, as a father, you might think, well, this is not really my type of show. But the truth, it actually teaches you how to listen, how to be present, how to be in the moment, how to appreciate the weird, hilarious, emotional ride that is raising a daughter. And there it is, the gazebo, the center of town, the heartbeat of Stars Hollow. Izzy walked ahead of me, and for a second, I saw her not as the little girl that I raised and used to carry on my shoulders and have campouts in the backyard with, but as the young woman that she was becoming. Very similar to the way Rory grew up in the show. The same way Lorelai tried to figure it all out was kind of how I was trying to figure it all out. Right here's a little detour into the Friends Cafe. I had to throw that in there real quick. It was fun. Super excited, super happy to hang out in front of Luke's Cafe. Here we are, walking into Luke's Cafe. This was pretty sick, man. You walk in there and it's just like the show. They filmed all of the show in these actual buildings. The reason why it doesn't have a proper ceiling is because that's where they would put the lighting and the cameras. Here's her getting a picture right in front of the gazebo. And this is one of my favorite parts of the entire day. Her just walking down the streets of Stars Hollow. Her super excited to be walking down the same streets that Rory walked, and watched Taylor hold town meetings, and really got to kind of understand relationships through Rory and Dean, the first boyfriend that Rory had. In fact, the first conversation that Rory and Dean had was just right outside that grocery store that Dean actually worked at. And there's the bookstore, and she's just taking it all in. Ah, yes, one of my favorite parts of the day as well is her just sitting down, reading a little bit right out by the gazebo where a lot of the show took place, and a lot of great heartfelt conversations between Lorelai and her daughter Rory happened. The show obviously goes through a whole bunch of emotions: good, bad, happy, sad, angry, heartbreak, getting back together, finding love, all kinds of great stuff. This scene with my daughter sitting out in front of the gazebo in a place that she just absolutely loves, watching a show growing up that made her feel so good. If you know about the show, you know that almost every episode takes place in either fall or winter, which are her two favorite seasons and mine as well. So it had extra special meaning, especially since it was mid-December, and even though it wasn't real snow out there, it was definitely sweater weather. Now, the scene you're about to watch right now is my daughter walking into the Dragonfly Inn, which was a big deal to her. She had a lot of emotional attachment to that particular bed and breakfast. It was owned by Lorelai and her friend, who was the chef, played by Melissa McCarthy. And there she is walking into the Dragonfly, the famous Dragonfly Inn. Bed and breakfast. Izzy's very emotional about this. She loves the Dragonfly Inn. She loves bed and breakfast. She loves winter. She loves fall. And she really relates to Rory and Lorelai in this show. So this was a big deal for her, and this is how we wrapped up the tour. This is something that my daughter's been talking about since the day we walked on that lot almost a year ago. And we're going again this year in just a few short weeks. This year is going to be even better because we'll actually get a chance to meet Scott Patterson, who plays Luke in the show Gilmore Girls. Like I said before, one of the most amazing experiences you could ever have is being able to have the opportunity to be a girl dad. There's so many great things you can do. My daughter and I, when she was younger, would just put a tent up in the living room and make pizza and candy and just watch movies all Friday night long. And you didn't have to spend a lot of money because all that mattered at the very end of the day was what kind of time and attention are you giving this little girl? My daughter wrote me a letter last Father's Day that I can't even think about or I'll start crying. Talking about all of the great memories that we made and how I gave her all of my time and attention and how I skipped every work event and all the time with my friends just so that I can spend time with her or go to her events or go to her dance recitals or her choir practice. It didn't matter. I showed up. And let me tell you something. Of all the investments you can make, investing in your little girl is the biggest reward and best ROI. Good luck. I hope you find something fun for you and your daughter to do together.